So I mean that leads me to like my next question. I'm just hearing you speak. I mean, obviously you're saying you don't lose that many clients, and you had to get to that point. I mean, obviously in day one you had clients, and like you said, you had to fire half your clientele to kind of get to where you are right now. Like how long, right? And the perception, somebody may be listening to this podcast and they may hear you speak, and it's like this guy he has everything together, but in reality, how long did it take you to get to where you are currently?
I mean, in literal terms, it's like 18, it's probably 20 years, right? It's the best part of 20 years. And, and I love the phrase on your podcast where description where it's that kind of overnight, 20-year overnight success. And I am very much in that. I'm, I've been very fortunate in my career and I've reached a point where I have had some success, but it has taken so much failure and effort and time and dedication and all that kind of stuff. And, I, and one of the reasons I wrote the book is actually to give people a dose of reality of all the mistakes and all the things that you get wrong on that journey, because you don't just come into this and nail it kind of overnight. I wish it was. It would be great. And I still it's I always think you're on a learning journey. And for me now, we've, as I mentioned before, like we've just done a private equity investment. So my role in the business has changed. I'm not the only main shareholder around the table anymore. We have other people, we have a wider group of shareholders that we have to think about. I'm now taking on a more visionary founder role. So I'm not as operationally involved day to day. So the business is requiring something different of me than it did 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I have to recognize that and grow into that role. And, we're in the hardest thing for us as entrepreneurs is that means subtracting rather than adding more. Like we almost, our hands have to be on less stuff, which is completely counterintuitive to the way that we built our business in the first place. But no, and back to your point, I wouldn't want anyone thinking, hey, this guy's worked it all out and he's kind of knows what he's doing. To an extent, I've been fortunate, and there are some lessons. We niche down, and I think having a real clear focus on a niche, we learn to say no to the wrong type of clients, and we're still very vigilant now in attracting the right type of customers and not people that are going to cause us, a lot of pain. And also just being focused on being good at what we do. Like it's not that complicated. Like trying to be the best at what you do, and the cream rises to the top, right? If you're, I run a marketing company, and the first thing I say to my clients, we can do the fanciest marketing in the world. If your service delivery is crap, we can't. That's the worst thing you can do, right? Like nothing is better than a really a great product or a great service offering, because that's where word of mouth comes from. That's where referrals come from. So it's one of the things that people are just thinking of marketing, like website, social media, content, whatever. It's also your product. It's also what you deliver and how you deliver to your clients. So it's one of the first things I always say to clients, if we're going to put out this beautiful face that your business is fantastic, can you guys actually deliver on this? Because if not, you're going to get some disappointed customers that will promise one thing and get another.